I'm just digging around here for a couple of quick things. So, as I understand it, we have some length of time tonight that we can get some things done.
Full night, sir.
Outstanding. So, I'm going to use this for what I call a work night here, and I want to get some stuff accomplished that I'm not quite seeing on the radar yet. Starting with well, let's just look at this for a second. Let me screen share for a moment as soon as I get this rolling here. I'll do this, get this out of the way. That goes over there. All right, so here comes screen share. Go, and hopefully this works. All right, can you all see this spreadsheet here? So this is the best information I have as far as the Royal Duty roster. And as we've talked before, we use this to keep track of where is everybody at in terms of their accomplishments, their readiness level, and so on. And we've got this huge big column here with the GES 116 exam. That's got to get done. And we're going to finish it tonight. And it's not very difficult to do, but we do have to spend the time doing it. So once we get done blabbing about some stuff, we're going to take a short break and have everybody work on this on their own to accomplish the 116 exam. And believe me, it's pretty simple. We can actually even do it as a group. We just got to get it done, ski. The second thing I want to share with you, let me stop this for a second and bring up e-services. eServe, here we go. Back. E-services is so difficult to work with, but it's what we've got. All right, so let me share this screen. You folks are able to access your own data, and if you haven't done this yet, I'm going to encourage you to start to figure out how to do so. So if y'all can see here, you might want to grab a pencil and write down this procedure. Because we're going to go in and we're going to find your Squidder worksheets, and I'm seeing a lot of tasks that we have covered that are not getting finished off. For instance, what to do if lost. A few things related to compass use. So here's how we go and find out what your current status is. On the menu section, we open up menu and we go to operations. So I'm just going to go slow so y'all can jot down these steps. Menu, operations, and then operations qualifications. Okay, so we open that up. And that brings up a new page with our ops qualifications. Over here under the red section where the ops qualifications is, click on that. And we come down here to Squidder entry worksheet. SQTR entry worksheet. By the way, whoever's the host, I'm expecting Cadet First Lieutenant Wareham to join us. If you see him, let him in the room, please.
Understood, sir.
Thank you. So we pull up the worksheet section. Load, load, load. There we go. And then we enter in someone. Mr. Bell, can I use you as a guinea pig?
Yes, sir.
What's your cap ID, please?
585715.
All right, so you put in your cap ID, and it brings up yet another set of menus to drop down. Now, we are working on two different things right now. One of them is the UDF Urban Direction Finding Team. So you see under the achievement list there, you click on that, and you pull up the worksheet you want to look at. UDF, here it is. And this is what is going on for Mr. Bell. It appears that his task for conducting a phone alert has expired. It looks like we need to do a gear inspection. We got to get commander approval. So all of this gray stuff here is things that need to be accomplished. Radio stuff, inspecting a vehicle, we're going to do that in the field. Map stuff, we're going to do that in the field. But gear inspection, that's one. Conduct a phone alert, that's another we can take care of. I'm going to change the view here, though. Come on up to the top here and say, well, UDF, that's good, but we're also working on GTM3. Let's see what he looks like there. A lot of other stuff. Now, guys, we've been working on this for a while here, and Mr. Bell, hope you mind, I'm not picking on you. Your worksheet just happens to have a lot of gray. And it says, all right, treating hot weather injuries, we've done that. Cold, we've done that. Field sanitation, fatigue, we did that. Universal precautions, I think we talked about. So what has to happen here is for each of you to pull up your worksheets and find out of the tasks that we have discussed and worked on, which ones are not showing in here properly. Now, just for my giggle purposes, I want to go back to my duty worksheet. Where'd it go? Because some people have done, let's try Mr. Abram here. Better yet, yeah, Mr. Abram looks good. And what was that cap ID? Don't have it. Mr. Abram, are you online right now, sir?
So you're talking to me?
I believe I may be. I don't have a first name.
Rufus Abraham?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
Let me grab your cap ID in 1 second here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
587962.
Huh. Same thing. This is telling me there's potentially a glitch and that we are not getting data entered the way I would like it to be entered. So I will talk with Lieutenant Bell about who has actually accomplished what, because I'm almost positive that we entered in all of this information and got commander approval for everyone that was on the worksheet. Let's try one more, because now I'm starting to feel like there's something that's askew here. Mr. Shankar, Prav Shankar, you there, sir?
I am, sir, yes.
May I have your cap ID, please?
Of course, sir. 605192, sir.
Beautiful. Ah, that's what I want to see. So Mr. Shankar has apparently completed quiz number 1. He has been cleared. He's got a green light on his hot and cold weather, his field sanitation and fatigue and so on. So this is what I'm talking about here, is that we need for each of you to take control of your individual training agenda and the tasks that you have accomplished and not accomplished. If you go to your Squidder worksheet and you pull it up and you see a lot of gray stuff and not a lot of green stuff, but you feel like you've completed the hot weather stuff and the cold weather stuff, you need to send either Mr. Mitchell or myself a note, and real fast, because we got to get this stuff data entered so we know who's good to go out in the field or not and who is missing what not. So it looks like Mr. Shankar here needs a gear inspection. We'll do that before we leave your mission base on the 18th. Conduct actions if lost. We did that class last 2-3 weeks ago, I think. And my request was that you write a short paragraph, 2 or 3 sentences tops, that would say, what will you do if you get separated from the team and if you are lost? Apparently, we're not getting those in, because when they come in, Lieutenant Mitchell informs me and I green light your Squidder that says, yep, you know that stuff. So when we talk about prep and fam, all the things here from the top, all this stuff, all the way down to here where it starts on this basic first aid stuff, all of that has to be accomplished. Now,
Sir,
yes, sir, please, go ahead.
My apologies to interrupt.
No
So
problem.
I know that a multitude of cadets have sent in their prep and fam quizzes.
Yeah.
Is there are these greens additional tests? Because I know that me.
No, they are not. If you finish the prep and fam quiz and you completed it, then you should be green lighted on those tasks. So let's go back to the grid for a second here. Let me stop on this screen and go to the other screen. Stop share, start share.
I do want to mention, I had
Yeah.
a little conversation with Lieutenant Mitchell today, earlier, and he says that he is running a little bit behind. He should have everybody caught up by this weekend.
That's possible. So if that is the case, we'll just assume that there's something along those lines going on.
Definitely have the conversation when he comes on, though, just to clarify.
Yeah, you betcha. So this grid right here, I mean, this is the Bible, man. These people on the left here, these are all the names that have been brought to my attention that are interested in e-services. And this row right here, this green, says those are all the people that have completed the prep and fam quiz. So if those people are still showing gray on their Squidder worksheet, you need to talk with Mitchell.
Okay, I know that Shrivastava turned in his test.
Okay.
My name and Jonathan's name are supposed to be switched. That's not my email. But I know there's like
Um,
an update that has to
So,
happen.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Lieutenant Mitchell is your go-to person for all things ES right now.
Understood.
I'm coaching him, and I will assist in data enter and so forth, but I want him to run the show, and I want you guys to report to him. If there's a
Understood.
glitch, something to correct, that's where it goes. But this is the Bible. I look at this grid and I say, hey, what's going on with Royal? And this tells me really super fast what's going on with Royal. All right, so now we're up to prep and fam quiz number 2. It looks like there are some that have been received as entered or been received, but I don't have any entry of any tasks on those. Gear inspection we will do in person before we leave base. How many people know what the date of our overnight bivvy is? So there it is. Bivouac scheduled 18-19 July. So that is how many weeks from now? I'll get this out of the way. Some math whiz, tell me how many weeks that is away.
About 4, sir.
3, maybe 4, right. So that's the time that we have to really get tightened up here. So that involves making sure we have all our prep and fam done. The only thing that we should really not have finished because we need to do it in person is that gear inspection. Some of you have requested being cleared on the compass work we did last time. I can't clear it until I see a compass in your hands and you sighting on a target, which we will also do out in the field. Now I want to share with you one possible glitch, and this comes from the wing commander, is that as of now, we are prohibited from conducting an overnight operation. I was a little bit afraid of that, but I'm also optimistic given how fast we are opening up for regular meetings, that by the time we get there, we will be cleared for overnight. So we will proceed as if. We'll proceed as if we are going to do an overnight op. So let me just stop for just a moment and say, does anybody have any questions about the op that we are planning for the weekend of 18-19 July? Do you know where it will be held?
Don't be shy, guys.
Danielson, sir.
Danielson. Wyatt Danielson.
Isn't there a good bivouac kind of, or a good spot for field training not too far from the airport, sir?
That's correct. It's on the airport grounds. It's an excellent site. It's been groomed and prepared to train multiple ES teams. But there's another reason. There are many locations nearby. We could go to East Hampton. There's some places out Bristol way. Why are we going all the way an hour and 15 minutes to Danielson? Besides the fact we have the ES grounds, there's another reason.
Cap base, sir.
Not quite. So I'll tell you, ground teams are supposed to be mobile. We're supposed to put our butts into vehicles, sign out paperwork, get used to communicating to the mothership on statewide, moving to a new location, disembarking, and going to work. So we're practicing that. I sometimes work with other teams and I hear, I don't want to drive to jail. Oh, you know what? Wham. This is what ground teams do. We move. So let's get used to moving. There's another good reason. I want to take you out of your element. My assumption is a lot of you are from the Hartford metro area. How many of you, just like thumbs up, have been out in the woods, like deep woods, hunting, fishing, camping? All right, I got a handful. So we're going to, it's not the deep woods, but for about, call it 10, 15 acres of it, it's the deep woods. For our purposes, it looks and feels just like deep woods. But we have our mission base literally 1/10 of a mile away. If we get into any trouble, if a tornado shows up, terrible thunderstorm, we're going to pull stake and we're going to shelter at the mission base that we have there at Danielson. Good so far?
I got
Okay.
a question.
Yes, sir.
How about that smashed up aircraft?
Yeah, we're working on that.
All right.
I am working on that big time. I've got some communications going with the airport manager. Turns out the guy has a Hayako to New Jersey, and he owes 20 years worth of tie-down fees, and we got to sue him. And at the moment, it's more expensive to sue him than we would get for tie-down fees. Well, we're going to blow right through that. We're just getting the legalese taken care of. Now we're going to take that aircraft, we're going to chop it up, and we're going to drop it by helo in the middle of the woods. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome.
I'm going to let it crash where it lands.
And I do have one more thing for you. I don't know if you saw this. One of our cadets had asked. I went over it a couple weeks ago, but they want to make sure that they know exactly how to get to that GES 116.
We're going to do that right this very second.
All right. You guys have the floor. Sir, thank you so much.
Thank
We
you,
will be
sir.
in touch.
Pleasure as always.
We've got 3 Fridays before your bivouac.
Fantastic.
So we will work that out, and hopefully we'll be able to get Lieutenant Mitchell on so we can get some really good stuff going so he's on the same page. He should be coming on momentarily. I'm going to bow out. But
Sounds great.
anything you need from me, let me know. If there's any materials or anything that you would need to have purchased, I can work with that as well.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
guys.
All right, so here we go. We're going to all do the GES 116 all at the same time. So everyone pull up an extra web browser and get to eServices. And when you're on eServices, let me see some thumbs up. Getting there, getting there. Let's all get logged in. Where did I just put it? Holy cucamonga. I just had it. I'm a moron. There it is. So by the way, these instructions are in your ES newbie guide. If for any reason you get snagged and we need to go back, or we don't pass tonight, you're going to go back and do it again. Those instructions are there. I just got to find them myself. Good grief.
Sir, what was the name of the test?
GES 116. So here we go. From the menu, drop-down menu goes to online learning, and then all the way at the very bottom under other resources, CAP online courses and exams. I'm going to screen share really fast so you can see as I'm doing this. Screen share. This thing. Proceed.
Test 1, 2.
There we go. What's going on?
Oh, just got in.
Beautiful. So one more time from the top. Menu, online learning, online courses and exams. From here, we scroll down till we find, there it is, CAP 116, CAPT 116 Part 1, General ES. Under the operations and exam page, kind of on the right-hand side. This looks like you got these little yellow blocks here. Looks like the second yellow block on the right. Boom, here it is. Let's grab that really fast. Go ahead and open that. Let me see some, oh wait, what the heck? New screen. Seriously? Oh, for crying out loud. So it should be right here under emergency services. It's not showing on my system, probably because I have completed it. So if someone can click on that and go to here and see if it's under emergency services for someone that has not completed it. Meanwhile, I'm going to look around some more here and see if I can find it.
I think it's on Axis.
Stupid Axis. Here we go. Go to Axis.
And then I imagine the tailoring is different based on who you are, but I can't seem to find hardly anything that I did, and it wants me to start things that I've already done.
That's great. What happens if we do CAPT 116? No. Great. What about specialty tracks? Go away.
Maybe a course catalog, but
Tell you what, if you guys can poke around a little, first one to find it wins.
Sir, I believe I found it.
You did? Drop a link in the chat, please. I'm going to close my screen sharing if I can.
Sure. If you go to course catalog and then drop down to emergency, it's one of the first ones on the Axis page.
All right, Axis,
You
course
go-
catalog.
And click all courses.
Services.
Right there.
Scroll up, sir,
Oh,
and
sorry.
click all
Right there,
courses. at
right
the
there.
very top. Oh, okay.
Got it.
it'll probably take you again too.
Enroll. Open course. All right, fellas, here we go. And ladies. Overview.
Wait, sir, which one was it?
CAPT 116, General ES Quiz. So far, so good? People kind of getting there? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start. And let's talk about each question as we go. I don't know if I still remember all the correct answers, but maybe as a group, we're smart enough to do it. So we have is everyone more or less in the quiz, please?
You won't let me click on it. Like, how are you supposed to? You're supposed to know.
I'll just wait and see if we can get some people caught up here.
Sir,
Yeah.
how do we get into it? Do we just press enroll?
Yeah, plus enroll, and then start course. So forgive me, this system is new. I'm not used to it on Access. I guess I got to update a few things.
Sir, what if our questions are different from yours? Because I have different questions.
They may come in a different order. That's entirely possible. So I don't know what to tell you on that, but maybe if you have a pencil on the side and a scrap of paper, we can kind of talk about these questions together as we go. And I think you can do this. I think you can cycle through them, yeah, without answering them. And so if we're talking about one particular question, you might be able to find that question, answer it, and then go back and so on. There's only 20 questions here, and they give you the answers at the end. So you
I
almost
think if you press review, you can automatically just go to the track.
Review all items. Yeah, okay, more or less.
Mr. Wareham, you really did terrible.
Apparently. All right, well, you know, mine is showing this one about the FTCA. So I guess we should go through that really fast and just make a note on the side, FTCA question, and we can figure it out. You know, we'll kind of shorthand this. So your family, dead giveaway, is interested in coming out with you on a mission. Bad idea. And your brother, the pilot, even wants to fly sorties. What do you think? Where are we headed? Is that a bad idea? No one else in your family is a CAP member. If they come to a mission, would they be covered by the Federal Torts Claim Act because you're a member?
I would say no, sir.
That's a thumbs down, right? So there we go. That's negative. No. EPA only covers CAP members. All right, next up. Maybe the short here is transport the ill. Got some people with open mics. If you can just double check, please, unless you're going to comment. This guy's up. There we go. CAP may be used to transport persons who are seriously ill, injured, or in distress to locations where facilities are suitable or when other suitable modes of patient transport are not readily available. Keywords: in an emergency. What do you think? If someone's leg is bleeding profusely and there's no ambulance, am I going to throw them in my van and get them to the hospital? You bet I will. So that's a true. At least I think it is.
They got to sign something, though.
They might. Sorry, I need your thumbprint in blood.
Yeah.
All right, CAP members may alter advanced technology. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Bad idea, right? So that's going to be false. Next up, 911 imminently serious missions must be authorized by Wing Commander or in his absence, the Vice Commander, possibly. National Ops Center, definitely. Wing State Director or higher CAP official, maybe, but
Not with those other two showing, right?
Those other two are pretty good. I like answer D. Both A and B are correct. What do you say?
Go.
Go. Cadets conduct their own emergency services training because they qualify different. Is our training different than adults?
No, sir.
Negative. That's a false. CAP website used to document all operations related training and qualifications for CAP members that accessible in e-services is OpsQual. And that's what we just looked at where your Squidder worksheets are. Oh, crapola. Sorry. Oops, I think I goofed. Okay. All members acting within the scope of their duties in accordance with CAP regs are covered by FICA, Yes, they are. True. And this is, by the way, why we practice team mobility, is because in order to put butts into vehicles, we have to have everybody signed into the mission. We have to have what's called a Form 109, which releases the vehicle and their occupants on the mission. And if we don't have that paperwork squared away, we are not covered by insurance. So the team commander, senior team commander's obligation is to make sure all paperwork is locked and stocked before the wheels start to move so that we have insurance. And Lieutenant Mitchell, I'll definitely train you on that.
Well, I got the SIG for checking the vehicle anyway.
There we go. Good news. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't know what I did. Through electronic storage of mission documentation is generally acceptable. Hard copies must be maintained. Okay, so WMIRS, WMIRS, Web Management Information Resource System. This is where our pilots and even ground teams submit information and documentation relative to their mission. So even though we are submitting it electronically, what do you think? Do we want to keep the hard copies on file somewhere in case of zombie apocalypse? Right. So the answer is true. We want to keep hard copy.
Hoorah.
What else do we got here? I screwed up my thing here. Supplements to Cap Reg 60-3 cannot be issued below the wing level except Congressional Squadron required region commander. That sounds logical. I'm not even sure what 60-3 is. I think it's probably the ES operations manual. Probably logical that no one below wing level can make any changes. In other words, we can't change the rules on how ES teams operate. I'm going to go with true. Concerning entry on seizure of private property. Okay, huge red flag. Cannot enter private property for any reason without permission of the incident commander or with a police officer by your side. So as much as, you know, you could see an aircraft burning over there, all right, that might be extreme because I'm probably going to go rescue somebody and I'll apologize for it later. But we are not allowed to trespass on private property. So as a general rule, subject to well-known rules that prohibit trespass. Yes, good with that. Entry activities must always be arranged in advance with the owner. I'm good with that. While entry on private property may be justified as an actual purpose to signalize every effort should remain in control of private approval. I'm good with that. So all the above. All mission photos must be taken, loaded into WMIRS. Yep, true. Unit alert rosters and resources must be updated quarterly. Only members conducting sensitive or classified missions must complete OPSEC. Who knows what OPSEC is?
Operational security, sir.
Yeah. Can you give me an example of what that might come into play?
How we handle information.
Sure. For instance, our radio frequencies is considered sensitive information. That's why when you turn on a radio, it doesn't say frequency 146.27 something something. It says,
Romeo 2.
You can't see, I'm not screen sharing. It says statewide or TAC 1 or something like that. How about posting photos of your activities on Facebook while we're on a training mission? Sensitive information or no? Can we do it?
No.
No. You post all your Facebook pictures after the mission is closed and you get home because we want to practice this good habit. If we have this habit is a bad habit, we're out on a real mission and someone takes a picture of their buddy with a crashed airplane in the background and a family member sees it, bad juju. So everyone completes OPSEC and everyone signs the non-disclosure agreement. Not just conducting sensitive or classified missions. Priority for support missions is local agencies, state agencies, federal agencies, and then the Air Force. Nope, other way around. Air Force comes first, then federal, then state, then local. So that question is false. Goal of Air Force reimbursable training missions and evaluations to assist CAP in developing and maintaining efficient nexus state. That sounds logical to me. I'm going to go with true. Specialty ratings listed on the 101 generally expire 3 years. They are expired. And by the way, if people have questions on any my questions are in a different order. If you're working on one you're not sure, just unmute and open it up.
Wait, sir, what was that one you just did?
That one was specialty ratings on the 101 card, expire in 3 years.
Thank you, sir.
The IC, Incident Commander, is responsible for the accuracy and qualification of the information winners. Yes, he may delegate it, but in the end, he's responsible for it. This says he may not delegate. That's not true. He can delegate, but he's still responsible to make sure that it's accurate. So this one is false. Typical air crew, mission pilot, mission observer, mission scanner. Yep, that's good to go. I'm happy with that. That's true. Each wing required to submit a comprehensive annual operations training plan and liaison by 31st of July for the following fiscal year. I'm not sure, but that sounds logical. I'm going to go with true. Ground teams will not be leased without a qualified ground team leader, at least 3. Yes, correct. So a ground team consists of at least 3 persons plus a team leader. Supported a mission yesterday. You left early, didn't get home. Good night's rest, claim for $35 for fuel, $3 in phone calls, and $30 in meals. So what this is more of a senior thing, but seniors cannot be reimbursed for things they would have done anyways. We're going to eat every day, so we can't be reimbursed for a meal that we had while on the road. But if he had phone calls related to mission operations, I'm going to assume that's true, plus the fuel for the vehicle that counts. So his total cost should be 38 simoleons. Ground teams may conduct operations at the level of the highest qualified member. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I missed the last one. How much can they be reimbursed for?
In this example, $38. It's everything except the meals.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Going back one, ground teams may conduct ops at the level of the highest qualified member. Negative. It is at the level of the lowest qualified member. So this is false. 60-3 outlines policies and procedures. Some unique situations might dictate variations contained. These common sense judgment being used effective as safety is secondary to accomplishing the mission. I don't know what it said all before safety is secondary. Safety is primary. So this one is false.
Safety first, sir.
Cap 101, identify specialties or functions. That is correct. The 101 card is our qualifications card, and it lets others know what we are qualified to do. Night vision devices, negative.
Sir, why can't we use night vision?
I'm not sure I can tell you why, but I can take a guess. I think it looks too much like a military operation, and it might concern civilians to see someone like that. Second, it could be a safety hazard if you don't know how to use them properly. Third, they're expensive. And fourth, I don't know why we would use them. We have flashlights. Now, pilots, different story. Okay, I'm looking pretty good here, I think. I'm going to press end. Anyone have any questions that we didn't cover that you want to hit real fast?
Yes, sir. There's one that says, I have 3. There's one that says unit alert rosters and resource lists must be updated at least.
I think that's quarterly.
Okay, quarterly. And then for the other one, the other 2, the CAP website used to document all operations related training qualification of CAP members that is accessible to all members is e-services.
Operations qualifications.
Okay, ops calls. And then the last one is all items. Cadets conduct their own emergency service training because they qualify differently than adult members.
Negative. That's false.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you bet. Any others before we all submit? All right, here we go. And submit. Calculating. Oh, I passed. Outstanding. It's funny though, it looks like I missed a few. I've been doing this enough and I still missed a few. So apparently I can learn a few things. But all that matters at this point is that we pass. So Now, while you're still on e-services, let's have everyone go and look at your individual qualifications worksheet. Go all the way back to the main page on e-services, please. And we're going to look at the GTM3 worksheet. So from the main page, menu, operations, operations qualifications. From this new page, the red thing up here, ops qual, grab that. Grab Squidder entry worksheet. Put in your individual cap ID. Let that roll. From the achievement tab, find GTM3. Pull that up. So apparently this is part of my renewal next time that I have to do. Mine expires on the, in 2022. You guys should see down here, cap 116 or 117 should be green. Tells you when it was passed. You should have that for today. That will never expire. Once it's done, it's done. Is everyone getting green lights there on their 116 exam? Good? Good news? Okay. So those, yeah, go ahead.
I do not. So where exactly is it, sir? I don't see it.
It's hard for me to tell because your page is a little different than mine, but you should be able to see your GTM3 and scroll around somewhere in here. It looks like kind of like this one here. Mine says 117 because that's a higher level exam, but you should see 116 continuing education completed with today's date.
Sir, the only one I see is GES.
All right, then let me check something. You know, it might have to be approved by your commander. That's possible. So let's do this. My assumption is that the major checks his e-services frequently enough that in a day or two he's going to have a pile of approvals to do. So give it over the weekend, perhaps maybe Sunday night, just check and see. Come back to this page and see what's been entered.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Do we see Lieutenant Wareham yet? He hasn't joined. Let me go yell at him for 2 seconds and have him join. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Huh? Did you ask him to come join the meeting for me? Thank you.
Mr. Bell, you have something right after the meeting, don't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so do you want me to hang tight until you're done with that?
Yes, please, sir.
All right.
Okay, he's coming in just a second. So I asked, I assume the email went out, and I wanted to have you guys have your gear semi-handy. And I know we've been missing a couple of items recently. Is there anyone that's having any difficulty getting a hold of any particular gear items, or do we feel by the 18th that we'll be pretty much ready to pass a gear inspection? How are we doing with that?
The only problem is the backpack, sir.
The backpack. So at this point, we need like a school backpack or something, throw all your goodies in there. Lieutenant Mitchell, you and I got to connect and see what kind of gear we have at Royal.
Yeah, now that I'm out of school, I got to get a hold of Joe.
Sounds good. Yeah, shake him down and I'll meet you anytime. My hours are flexible. We got to see what kind of Alice packs and stuff we've got. Okay. Just really quickly.
You mean to tell me that there's no old backpacks laying in everybody's cellars?
You know, it's entirely possible.
I've got like
no, I was saying that I don't have the proper backpack, the one with the aluminum frame.
Yeah, I got you.
I have a school bag.
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessary right now to get your initial check, right?
School backpack is fine for now. But especially for those people, if we actually do go live and we're able to bivvy overnight, sleeping bags, tents, are we starting to work somewhere in that direction? So really quickly, I'm going to share screen again, and let's just walk through quickly the gear list. Where did it just go? There it is. Yoink. So again, your ES newbie guide is your friend. And
does everybody have that?
There we are.
All right.
Yeah, we've got it. Okay. So this gear list is actually anything that is in boldface is important. And so those are the things you really want to make sure you've got. Complete uniform, identification, 101 cards. By the way, instructions for printing the 101 cards are in the newbie guide. Do you all have 101 cards in your wallets right now? So I will tell you, I did a gear inspection with my squadron yesterday, Danielson, Thursday night. They all had 101 cards. They were all outdated. They expire in 90 days. Guys, it's time to get back to business. I can tell you right now, the only functioning ground team in the state of Connecticut is Danielson. But I will tell you the second most likely team to be ready to function is you guys. So we want to start stepping up and get ready for duty. Print your 101 cards. Put it in your wallet. Start putting your gear together. You guys are probably ahead of Plainville, of all things, which is a little scary. Personal first aid kit, definitely need to have that. You know, flashlight, we definitely need those things. You can throw some change of socks in a Ziploc bag. I know you can. I'm not terribly worried about whether you've got the green book or not, but hopefully you can grab it. If we're going overnight, you got to have a tent or shelter. A shelter can be as easy as a ground cloth that's, you know, thrown over a string, right?
Poncho.
Yep, poncho. We need a 3-season sleeping bag. You know, those sorts of things. Let's start putting that game plan together. Okay.
Sir, can you
Yes.
show us how to get to the 101 card?
Absolutely. Here we go. Ba-doop. Back to e-services. Back to screen share. Here we go. E-serve. Share. All righty. From e-services. It's
Take
in the
notes,
same
everybody.
place as your ops qual is. We've got menu, operations, ops qual. Everything ES is under this ops qual tab. Once we're here, now we go into the ops qual. Right here, 101 card. It's right above your worksheets. So 101 card, put in your cap ID. There it is.
Who's that handsome man?
That's some guy. That picture's old too. And right here, click here to print. And when you do that, it'll open up your print window and it'll go to town. It's going to print out full page. And you only have to snip out this part, and you fold it in half, and it fits perfectly in your wallet.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Is Logan Lieutenant Wareham?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Captain Wareham, is that the individual that gave the frostbite lecture to myself and Chaplain Tom?
Yes, it was out of Plainville.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, where did I put it? Good gracious, I'm losing my mind. Hang on a second here, guys. Did have it. Seriously? Bear with me a minute, guys. The document I'm looking for has become elusive. So I want to play a little game for the rest of the evening. And this is my favorite game of all time. Lieutenant Wareham, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here.
What is my favorite ES game of all time?
Is it Last Man Standing?
It is Last Man Standing. So here's how Last Man Standing works. We have a couple of rules here. This game will run for about maybe half an hour. And this is a way to reinforce everything that we have learned so far and to bring us all back together and get ready for the next phase. So Last Man Standing, when the time comes, I'm going to ask everyone to rise and stand on your feet. And then I'm going to go from person to person and ask an ES-related question. And if you answer the question correctly, you get to remain standing and we move over to the next person. If the question is not answered correctly, you will have a seat. And we will very quickly understand who are the kings and who are the buffaloes. At the end of the game, whoever is left standing, when we actually get together out into the field, you will get to pick something from the ES goodie bag. And the ES goodie bag contains all kinds of happy things like compasses, knives, gear, backpack, things that you will like, enjoy, and need. So if you don't want to participate, you don't have to. You can remain seated. But for all of those people who would like to participate, on your feet, please. And Logan, I'm going to ask you to leave your mic up so that you can assist with this game, and maybe you can share your experiences with some of these questions.
All right, got you.
Okay. So starting with the gentleman, Mr. Tanya, I believe you're still sitting. I see Mr. Bell is risen. Mr. Collison, forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Mr. Rufus Davis looks good. Mr. Christie looks good. All right, so here we go. Starting with Mr. Bell, if you would, sir, what do the letters E, S, and by the way, you start easy and get progressively harder and harder. So what are the letters ES? What do they stand for in Civil Air Patrol?
This is a great question. Emergency services, sir.
Fantastic. You remain standing. Mr. Collison, what is the threefold mission of Civil Air Patrol?
Aerospace education, cadet programs, and emergency services, sir.
Is he correct, Lieutenant Wareham?
I think that's correct, yes.
He is correct, sir. You may remain standing. Outstanding. Mr. Baptist, if I'm not mistaken, where should your whistle be stored? Anaheim Baptist, where should the whistle be stored, sir? Oh, the pressure. I will give you a hint. Hang on. Here is your hint.
It should be stored in your left pocket.
Your left breast pocket attached by a cable. Lieutenant Wareham, why do we attach the whistle to the shirt?
Well, normally when you get lost, you wouldn't have your gear on you. If you get separated from your people, it's probably because you're going to use the latrine or something like that, in which case you're not going to have the rest of your gear. You're only going to have what's on you, and so you keep the whistle on you.
Outstanding. Mr. Rufus, I believe you are up, sir. How much food should be stored in your 24-hour gear?
Small snack, sir.
How much food? For how long should it last in your 24-hour gear?
I think just small snacks, sir, something to keep you going while you're walking.
Lieutenant Wareham, what do you think?
I think you might need more than that.
A little more better answer. We'll give you one more try. I'll read the question again. How much food should be in your 24-hour gear to last for how long in your 24-hour gear?
Sir, would it be,
how long should you be able to function in your 24-hour gear?
I was thinking just like a lunch, some type of food that could last you a meal.
Okay. Mr. Rufus, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to have a seat. Your 24-hour gear should last for how long?
24 hours, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I feel out of place. I'm going to get a uniform. Hang on.
This is my favorite game. All right, who's up? Let's see. Mr. Davis, looks like you're up, sir. Which snakes should be avoided?
We usually look for copperheads, cottonmouth, or like eastern diamondback, sir. Or all snakes.
What do you think, Lieutenant Wareham?
All snakes, sir. Sorry.
All snakes. Excellent.
There you go.
You may remain standing. Who's next here? Mr. Shrivastava. Am I close?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who is allowed to carry a sheath knife?
The team commander.
Excellent. You may remain standing. Carlson Alwar, is that correct? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it. Are you participating, sir? I can't tell if you're seated or standing. You are participating? Is that a yes?
No.
You're not. Okay, very well. Ms. Roche, are you participating?
Yes.
Outstanding. That's what I like to hear. Who is allowed to purify water? Who on the team is the only person allowed to purify water?
Your ground team leader?
Outstanding. You are in the game. Very good. Mr. Christie, I believe you are next. What is your most important item of gear?
An extra pair of socks, sir.
Outstanding. He's a winner. He
Nice.
gets to remain standing. Good job.
A good answer. Eh?
Lieutenant Wareham, I'm going to give you one.
Okay, let's go.
What is your most important resource?
Most important resource is water.
Outstanding. You will remain a team commander. Mr. Baptist, I believe you are next, sir. You have just become separated from your team. Oh my God. What should you do first? I'll give you a clue. You're going to use a tool that was mentioned about 5 questions ago.
Sir, which Baptist are you talking about?
You, sir. Umashan.
Oh, we have 2.
First you would have to blow a whistle, sir.
Outstanding. You may participate. All right, we're going on to my next Zoom page here. Who else did I got Mr. Collison and Baptist. Is there anybody that I did not get that is participating? If so, please unmute yourself.
Sir, my camera just isn't working.
Oh,
sir.
Mr. Shankar, I see you. Outstanding. All right, Mr. Shankar. What is the primary difference between a UDF team and a ground team?
Sir, a UDF team doesn't stay overnight, whereas a ground team can stay overnight.
Excellent. Well done. Anybody else that I have missed that wants to participate? Otherwise, we're going back to the top. All right, we're back to Mr. Bell. Which is a deadly condition, heat stroke or heat exhaustion?
Heat stroke, sir.
Outstanding. Mr. Collison, your teammate is shivering uncontrollably. What is his most likely condition?
It would be frostbite or frostbite, sir.
We don't shiver when we have frostbite. It starts with an H.
Hypothermia.
Outstanding. You may
There you
go. Next person, Mr. Baptist. True or false? A frostbitten limb should be packed in snow.
That is false, sir.
Outstanding. Thank you. Who's next here? Ms. Doherty, are you participating? No? Okay. Mr. Davis, welcome back. Mr. Davis, what is the correct treatment for a snake bite?
Ooh, pressure's on.
You use this tool that I'm displaying right now. What am I holding?
It's a car key, sir?
Right. What do we do? How do we treat them using this tool? We take them where?
I'm sorry, sir?
Where do we take them using this tool?
Or you killed the snake by the head?
Okay.
Sorry, I can't understand. Hang on.
Okay. What is the correct treatment for a snake bite? We use this magical device right here to take him somewhere.
Oh, to the hospital.
Outstanding. Do we cut his arm?
Beautiful, Davis.
No, sir.
Do we try to suck the poison out?
No, sir.
Do we put a tourniquet on him?
We can try, but I'm
Probably not. Do we want to remove constricting bands like watches and wedding rings?
No, sir.
Yes. He's going to blow up like a balloon.
Sure.
And this is going to be bad to have it. So belts, watches, rings, everything comes off in the vehicle, hightail it to the nearest medical facility. Call in advance, let them know you're coming, let them know what kind of snake you think it is, because it takes some time for them to prepare a serum. All right, who's up? Jay, you're up again, sir.
Sure. Do I remain standing or?
You do. You can remain standing on that. We're going to give you each person gets a little bit of a pass here. They're going to get interesting in a minute.
Right.
All right, Jay. True or false? Your ground cloth should go inside or outside of your tent. Where does it go?
Sir, can you repeat the question? Your
Yes.
audio.
Your ground cloth. The ground cloth for your tent. Does it go inside the tent or outside the tent?
I believe it goes outside the tent, sir.
Are you sure? Final answer.
I'm not sure, but it's my final answer.
Okay, the answer is incorrect. I'm sorry, sir. It goes inside your tent. Logan, can you explain why? Logan, you're muted, I think, or something.
Right, got it.
Here we go.
For simplicity's sake, imagine the ground cloth as just a tarp, right? You set up your tent, you take the tarp, you put it under the tent on the outside, right? Well, what's going to happen is it's going to rain, or the dew is going to fall, and the dew is going to start, running off of the tent, and it's going to go on the ground cloth and seep underneath it, and that's not what you want. And so, by putting the tarp on the inside of the tent, the bottom of your tent is going to get soaking wet, but it's not going to penetrate through to where your sleep and where your things are.
Okay, who's next? Miss Roche, I think you're still in. Okay, here we go. What are the 5 R's of a refit?
Of a what, sir?
A refit. You know what? Actually, that question's not fair. I don't think we've covered that. Here we go. True or false? There's no need to carry a full roll of toilet paper because you won't have to go to the bathroom that much.
Well, it's false, but I heard you're supposed to put it around a stick or something. I don't know.
You're on the right track. That's correct. We use it for blazing material, not for going to the restroom. You might use it for the restroom, but we need a full roll because we do a lot of trail blazing with it. So there we are. Excellent. Thank you. Who's next? Mr. Christie, I believe you're still in?
Sir.
Okay, we're starting to get into, all right, what is a widowmaker?
Could you repeat that, sir?
Yes. What is a widowmaker?
I don't remember that, sir.
Okay, the answer is it is a dead branch hanging up in the trees that when the wind blows falls down and crushes you in your tent and makes your wife a widow. So it's very important in campsite selection to make sure that there's no dead branches or anything above you and stuff that's going to fall on you or rivers that are going to suddenly flood and drown you. Those are all considered bad. Okay, we're getting down the end here. Mr. Logan, I'm going to give you one. Why do we use a lensatic compass versus all other choices?
Lensatic compasses are, let's see. So other choices, you can use the hand carry method.
Well, the plastic one, for instance. Why don't we use the plastic thingy?
Yeah, we use the lensatic one as opposed to the other ones because although the other ones can find a general direction, we need more precision than that. And so for that, we use the hand cheek method.
All true. Mr. Baptist, Umashan Baptist.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're getting into some harder ones. Can you name any 3 parts of a lensatic compass? Any 3 parts at all?
Is a slingshot part of it?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Have a seat. Does anyone else know, Logan, can you say some of the parts of the compass?
So a few parts of a lensatic compass are the sighting notch, the sighting wire, the thumb hole. Let's see, I guess the lid is a part, and also the basal ring, which is the clicky bit.
Yep, and the dial is the part that has the numbers on it. We have the lens itself. So, all right, very good. Anybody that I haven't covered yet, I can't see everyone's camera. I think, Mr. Shankar, your camera's off, but you wanted to participate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. We're starting to get in some stuff that's going to be a little bit difficult that we may or may not have covered, so I'm going to give you a quick and easy one before we move on to the next level, and that is, where does Santa Claus live?
On the North Pole, sir?
At the North Pole. All right, going back to the next one. Logan, I'm going to throw you this one because it's out of cycle.
Okay.
Why does your compass not point to where Santa Claus lives?
The compass doesn't point to where Santa Claus lives because there's a difference between the magnetic north and the true north. The true north is like the geographical top of the planet, which is where Santa Claus lives. Yeah. But the magnetic field is not entirely oriented to how the Earth is actually built. So the compasses point slightly off.
Excellent. Very good. So back to the top. Mr. Bell, this one's for you. What is magnetic declination?
Sir, that's easy.
Yeah, please share.
Yeah. Magnetic declination is. Yeah, I have no idea, sir.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no clue.
You had such
No clue.
confidence. I was like, yes, come on, Bill. Give me
No,
those
I'm just kidding.
Rangers.
I have no idea.
Okay, so magnetic declination is the difference in degrees between where Santa Claus lives at the North Pole and where the magnetic north is.
Okay.
Okay, so in this area, there's a certain amount of difference, and the difference just happens to be 13 degrees in this area. Okay, have a seat, sir. Thank you. Oh, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Mr. Collison, I think this one is coming your way. Can you describe what a road blast is?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to give you one more just in case to see if we know where we're at. Where is your team's alert roster kept?
Is it at your squadron, sir?
Maybe. Lieutenant Mitchell, is that a pass or no?
I would give it to him, sir.
You would? Okay, where is it actually located so we all know?
Well, I'm holding it right now on the
You
drop.
got it in your hands.
Yeah,
But I'll tell
go
you
ahead.
also, that Excel spreadsheet that we just looked at, that's your alert roster. It's got your emails, it's got your phone numbers. If something goes down, that's the first place we're going to go to get everyone's contact info. So my answer would be it lives on your Dropbox folder. So we'll give a pass on that one. Mr. Baptist, I do believe you are up. Would you describe, please, your team's alert procedure? If I called Lieutenant Mitchell and says, we got to go, what's he going to do next? What's going to happen next? What happens next? Best guess.
I'm guessing he would call the ground team commander, and then he would call the other members of the ground team.
I'm more or less comfortable with that. Logan, would you describe our procedure, please?
Yeah, that's basically correct. So the call goes from the top of the chain of command all the way down, and so your whoever the senior member, the senior ground team leader would probably be alerted first. The senior ground team leader would call the cadet ground team leader, and the cadet ground team leader then calls several ground team members, probably like higher in the chain of command, maybe 2 or 3, and each of those people that they call then call a whole bunch of other people. So I call one guy, that guy calls 3 guys, and those 3 guys also call 3 guys. That's called a phone tree. And that's how we alert everybody as quickly as possible, is having everybody call everybody.
Awesome.
We also go by email as well. We send out email alerts.
Very cool. All right, where are we left off here? I think Mr. Baptist is still in. Collison is still in. Mr. Shankar, because I can't see you, I can't remember if you were in. Pranav, are you still in? Roche is still in, I believe. Okay, outstanding. We're coming through. So I believe we are on Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Davis. During an alert, you will or will not be told what time you are returning.
Sir, I do not believe you will be told what time you're returning.
Correct. Thank you. We do not know how long it's going to last, so you got to tell your parents, I don't know when I'm going to be back, but I'll stay in touch as best I can. Very good. Miss Roche, how much food should be in your 48-hour gear?
Enough for 48 hours.
Oh! Outstanding.
Woot.
Woot, woot. Good times. All right, Pranav Shankar. We're starting to get into stuff that we may not have covered in class, but might just be common sense. So, with that in mind, can you name 3 items that are prohibited for ground team members to carry? Not just not a bad idea, expressly prohibited.
Sir, I'd assume carrying a flame torch would be prohibited.
I would call that pyrotechnics. Yeah, that's probably bad. That's 1.
You shouldn't be having firearms.
2, excellent.
And you shouldn't be having very large knives.
How large? What's the
Well,
maximum blade length we can have?
I think it's 3 or 4 inches, I believe,
Okay,
sir.
the answer is 4, but that's close enough. Let me give you a few others. Soda pop, candy, snack foods like Doritos and chips that have no nutritional value whatsoever, any small electronics besides your cell phone, so no radios, no guitars, no amplifiers. I say this because somebody brought an amplifier and a guitar on a training mission. I kid you not. Logan, it was the first one you and I ever went on together. Do you remember? Popple's son, he had his truck going with a generator. Oh, my Lord.
I don't remember that specifically, but I definitely see that happening.
Yeah, it definitely happened. All right, rolling on down the list. Logan, this one might be yours.
Okay.
Where did it go? Trying to find one that's a good way to do. How about, let's see if you can do this one, Logan. 3 ways to command a team to assemble. 3 different ways to get them to assemble.
Ooh, okay. You could use the one long whistle blast.
You could.
You could yell at everyone.
You could say, assemble, fall in.
Yep. And I guess the third one, you could call them on the radios.
You could do that. Here's a 4th one, that hand signal.
Right, yes.
That means assemble, that means double time. And that has been used many times when you might have a team commander that's over talking to the incident commander 200 yards away, and your team is over having lunch somewhere. You can, visually show them, get over here right now, and that works. Okay, going back to the top, looks like Mr. Collison. All right, Mr. Collison, I don't know if you attended the lecture on direction finding. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, working with the DF unit. Were you there for that one?
I don't remember, sir.
Okay, Mr. Baptist, were you there for that one?
I don't think I was, sir, either.
Oh, boy, okay. How about Ms. Roche? Were you there? Or Mr. Shankar?
I was there, sir.
You were there. All right, I'm going to give you a question that was covered that maybe you will have the answer for. Can you describe what rabbit hunting is?
If I remember, sir, rabbit hunting is as soon as you get the first signal for an ELT, you run up to go find it, and then if it's not there, then you just keep,
Outstanding. That is correct.
after the
And now for the bonus survival points question, can you describe why that is not as good as triangulation?
Because when you triangulate, sir, you have almost a definitive answer as to where it will be, or whereas when you're rabbit hunting, there can be interference. So you're going after false signals, sir.
Ah, that's awesome.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. All right, I think this is the elimination round. We are now getting into the stuff that we have not covered at all. So this is either common knowledge or it's just stuff that you've picked up in your various readings. So here we go. Mr. Collison, can you describe what the command mount up means? Mount up. Have you heard that one before? Mount up.
No, sir.
Okay, mount up. Logan, would you be so kind?
Yeah, so let's see. The mount up refers to travel in the cab van. It refers to when we're getting into the van, and that's just the command for everybody to get in. Mount up means put your gear in the van and get yourself in the van. We're leaving soon.
Not
and
quite.
The reason that we sorry, hang on. No, wait. It's been a while. It's been a while I've done this. Okay, mount up means put your gear on.
Yep. Okay.
And the reason that we have those commands, there's should I say the other ones or
yeah, go ahead. Run through
other questions. Okay, so the other ones, the one I was talking about is let's ride. We say that when everybody needs to get into the van because it's time to go. We also have dismount. Bailout. Bailout means get out of the van. Dismount means take your gear off. The reason that we have those commands is because oftentimes what will be happening is we'll be doing what we referred to earlier as a road blast, which is when we're just driving around looking for signal, trying to find a place where we can identify a direction. And if every single time we pull over to take a reading, every single person gets out of the van and puts their gear on, well, there's no reason for that because we're just going to be getting back in the van immediately anyway, most likely. Or it also poses a safety hazard because we might be near a road. And having every single person getting out of the van on both sides would be a safety hazard for cadets because they could get hit by cars, or things like that. And so it's up to the team leader and probably the team leader's executive officer as to when we put on our gear, when we get into the van, when we get out of the van, because otherwise it just makes it confusing and inefficient.
Outstanding. Mr. Baptist, what is the difference between strike anywhere matches and regular matches?
Sir, could you repeat the question?
Sure. What is the difference between strike anywhere matches and regular matches?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, the difference is strike anywhere matches have a white phosphorus tip, whereas regular matches do not. And that white phosphorus tip allows them to strike on surfaces other than the strike anywhere thing that comes on the side of a box. You can strike them on a rock. When zippers used to still be made, you could strike them on a zipper. Anything that generates heat and friction will light a strike anywhere, whereas only the striking surface on regular matches will work. Logan, why is it important to have strike anywheres?
If you don't have strike anywhere matches, it means you need a striker. I know a lot of cadets really like the stormproof matches, but those are fun, they're useful, but they're not the same. Any other matches require a striker, and that striker could get wet. If you lose it, if it gets damp, if you leave it out by accident, even just the humidity in the air can make it not work. But strike anywhere matches can be struck anywhere, so it's much better.
Right, so it's not we're worried about your matches getting wet, we're worried about your striker getting wet. And strike anywheres allow you to have much more strikers than just the one. I think we're down to a two-person showdown. I think we're down to Pranav and Miss Roche. Is that more or less correct?
Sir, I'm still up.
Oh, Mr. Davis, forgive me. You're right.
It's okay.
All right, Mr. Davis, which plants are okay to eat on a Civil Air Patrol outing?
Personally, sir, I don't think any plants are able to eat because we don't know exactly which ones would be poisonous or not.
Yep. Are you absolutely sure? Like if you see some blueberries, you know for sure that they're blueberries and you want to eat them. Is it okay?
No, sir.
You are correct. Thank you. Excellent. Mr. Shankar. Mr. Shankar, what is an EPIRB?
I'm sorry, sir. Could you repeat that? I couldn't quite hear it.
What is an EPIRB?
An EPIRB?
Yep.
I'm not sure I know, sir.
Okay. Logan?
Boat ELT.
So not only do aircraft have ELTs and emergency locators, so do watercraft. And watercraft locators are commonly set off. We hunt those things too. So Ms. Roche, for the bonus round, do you know what sets off an EPIRB?
When basically any like violent movement.
Well, that's an aircraft one. It gets set off by G-forces. EPIRBs get set off by one of two things happening. Either or will set them off. Do you know what either one of those two things might be?
Say it again.
Drowned in water.
That's one of them. If it gets wet, it gets set off. Okay, so that's a win. Mr. Davis, I think this is for the elimination question.
Wait.
How much time should a refit take? You just come back from a mission, you throw your gear down. Oh boy, that was awesome. How much time before you have to turn everything back around to be ready to operate again?
5 to 10 minutes.
Woo! That'd be the fastest turnaround in the history of me. I'll give you one more shot. That's not the right answer.
How long does it take for a retrofit, sir?
How long is it supposed to take? How long before you have to be ready to go again?
I'm trying to reach back into my brain for this.
Yep. Go back in time. Pull the file.
Part of me is stuck on one answer, but I don't think it's
Let's hear it. Final answer, $1 million question.
I would say at least as long as it's before the next mission.
That's not a bad answer. It's not the correct answer. So I'm going to say it's Mr. Davis and Miss Roche have a tie and get to hit the ES goodie grab bag when you come around. So a big round of applause. Thank you, guys. Now, even though you didn't know maybe all the questions or everybody get a question thrown at them, you all heard them. And it all comes back into your mind again. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, yeah, that. And that helps to solidify our knowledge into a knowledge base that we can use. Logan, do you want to add any comment before we finish up?
Just real quick, I think we touched on this, but we didn't actually finish the point. The second thing that sets off an EPIRB is either if it gets wet or if it gets rotated 90 degrees. Boats are not supposed to do that. So if they get rotated, then it'll set it off, which includes throwing it out. Oftentimes we'll find EPIRBs that were discarded, either in a dumpster or in a landfill. Those are 2 live missions that I've had before. And yeah, when they take it out and they throw it out and they don't turn it off properly, it definitely gets rotated more than 90
the
degrees.
landfill win was definitely awesome, right?
That was fun.
Sir, what was the answer for that one for how long a retrofit? Was it a half an hour?
24 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours, so the 5 hours of a refit. Rest, yeah, good idea. Repair any of your gear, yep. Repack, definitely. Replenish, put all the food and stuff and water back in again, yes. And 5, report. Report to your team commander you made it home safely. Enter any squitters you accomplished. If you're a team commander, you've got a ton of paperwork to send in. But get all of that done within a 24-hour period to get ready to go live again. And there's a good reason for that. Logan, can you tell the Lock Haven story?
Yes, I will in just a moment, but I think you were going for lower amounts of time. Yeah, I may be mistaken. I think you were going for lower amounts of time because you were thinking about just repacking, in which case you would be right. You should probably be able to repack your stuff in 5 minutes or half an hour or something like that. But the key one is rest. That's why it takes a whole entire 24 hours, because if you've just been on a live real mission that took a really long time and you're completely exhausted, you're not going to be able to ready to go in half an hour. You need to actually, sleep and have a rest and replenish yourself. So that's why it's a longer period of time. And the Lock Haven story is one that my father, Captain Wareham, right there went on when he was in Civil Air Patrol as a youngster like us. And so what it was is it's a really long story and it's a really good one to hear. But for this point, it was a really exhausting mission. Actually, it was a white aircraft on white snow, covered in more white snow. And what happened is that they were looking for it. They couldn't find it. They all went home after a long time, and then they got a call about 24 hours later that said, "Hey, we found it. We need you to come back." And so that does happen. Oftentimes, it might not be a new mission, but after your mission is completed, you may be needed again to finish it off. So that's why we have to be ready in 24 hours.
It could also be a disaster relief mission where you're out for 3 or 4 days, but the disaster is ongoing. So the IC sends you home for some rest after 3 days. You get a day worth of rest, and they call you right back and say, "Listen, we still need you. Come back out." Many of you might be too young to remember this, but a handful of years ago, I know Chris will remember, the entire state of Connecticut was shut down for an ice storm. It lasted about 10 days. We got hit with a lot of ice, a lot of trees came down, a lot of power. Everybody was without electricity and hot water for at least a week, if not longer. And so that was a disaster relief mission that went on and on and on and on. And so you might go out, come back, go out, come back, go out. And that's why we got to turn right back around within 24 hours.
Sir, sorry, just one more question. Do you know what time the bivouac is going to be on the 18th and 19th, on what time perspective it's going to run?
I would plan on, for our purposes right now, being at your mission base no later than 9 a.m. I'm not one of those super crazy early risers. I'm not going to get up at 6 a.m. to go tromps in the woods. So probably 9 is a reasonable hour. We'll probably be on the road by 10. We'll be at Danielson by 11. We'll get all our mission stuff signed in, get to the camp area by noon. We'll have a bite to eat. We'll start training around 1. If it's a day mission, we'll go to maybe 5 or 6 and come home. If not, we start dinner at 6 and, switch to night ops. Yes, Ms. Roche.
For the bivouac thing, so is that definite?
It is a definite, at least as a day mission for sure.
Okay, and also, Do you have to be certified for GTM3 to go, or can you be like in the midst of being?
You can be in the midst. This is a training operation. We're there to get people certified for GTM3. So all I really care about at this point is that you've gone through some classes with us, which you've done, and that you've got enough gear that you can stay warm, dry, and fed.
Okay. Last question. For the gear, do you have to have like a full 24-hour pack, or?
If we're going overnight, you just need enough food and water to last for 24 hours. I'm not expecting someone to have a mountain pack and, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff at this level. But Lieutenant Mitchell and I are going to work hard on doing squadron inventory and seeing what you've got for supplies and get some gear issued to those who need it. So for now, the answer is no, but we're going to try and get you as close as we can. Good. Thanks, guys. I'm pretty much finished. Any other questions, thoughts, comments, ideas for either myself or Lieutenant Wareham? By the way, Lieutenant Wareham is the only cadet who is authorized as a UDF team commander. So someone who is definitely knowledgeable and can talk about ES from the cadet perspective. So good opportunity. Anything at all? Logan, anything you want to add? Stories, thoughts, recommendations?
No, I think I'm all set.
Lieutenant Mitchell, anything, sir?
No, I'm fine. I'm good. Just
all right,
looking
guys.
forward to the 18th.
Well, thank you so much for your time again. It's a pleasure as always, and I hope to see you again quite soon.
Wait, is there any questions from the test, from the prep and fam test or quiz that we had?
Yeah, there were actually. You mean on that the drill we just did?
On the prep and fam quiz.
Fam 1 and 2.
On prep and fam 2 specifically.
Oh, 2. Let me pull that. Hang on.
If you have a question, you can go ahead and say it.
Yeah, please. Fire away.
I didn't find like any of the answers, because for the prep and fam quiz 2, we were supposed to look at the I think it was, I forgot which file it was. But I looked at it and then I tried to take the test, but I couldn't find almost like anything from that booklet that went with the test questions.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that is on here is from the UDF Green Book. Much of it is from class. The whole compass section we covered, I think, in the last class I did. What to do if lost is there. Phone alert is there. We did not do universal precautions yet. So yeah, Prep and Fam 2 is going to be a little sketchy, I think, simply because we haven't covered it. So I don't view Quiz 2 as being something that if you haven't done it, you're not participating. I view it as, that's a question I don't know. I think I'll figure out that, and maybe when it's taught in class, I'll remember, oh yeah, I didn't know that from before, but now I do. So don't sweat Quiz 2 too much.
So, yes, that's definitely, don't sweat it too much, but the flight sergeants did send out, we have a folder with all the emergency services information in it, right? All the links that Captain Wareham has sent, we put it in a folder, and the flight sergeants sent out the folder to you guys. So all the questions, I used those documents for the quiz because I didn't know a lot of the answers, right? And if you look in the folder, where is it? I don't want to. If you look on, go to emergency services documents, and then go to 1 second, lesson documents. Look at what to do if lost. It says 03 what to do if lost docs. Go to 04 alerting procedures, and then go to 6.3 compass use, and all of your answers should be there, except for the question 6 and 7, the one about the R's. That one's not there, but all the rest should be there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that also. We've had a number of questions about how to access resource materials. I think I will, Lieutenant Mitchell, I'm going to send you a link to Dropbox that is a shareable link that if you forward it to people, they'll be able to see everything that you and I see.
Roger.
Good. Thanks, guys. Anything else for the night?
Yeah, how deep do we dig at latrine there, Troop? I've got all sorts of different answers by the 5 people that submitted the test, which I have to grade yet. But it's 18 inches, folks. All right, 18 inches. That's the minimum.
18 inches deep and 100 yards downwind and downhill.
Right, and that's all in that green book. I'm sorry, but it's all there.
You know, look, there's a lot of knowledge base that you have to get on a ground team. I wouldn't worry too much about knowing the answer to every single question, because as soon as you get in the field and you have to dig a latrine, you'll remember how deep it's supposed to be. All of this is very practical knowledge. Once we get in there and actually put hands on the machines, hands on the tools, hands on the flashlights, you're going to love it. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn it fast. You'll be very effective. I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm really excited to see what's happening at Royal, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person soon.
Thank you, Captain Wareham.
Good night, guys. Be well.
Thank you very much, Captain.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chris. Be well. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, awesome. So that was a pretty interesting ES lesson. I think it was very informative, and I really hope that you guys learned a lot from it. But before we stop talking about ES, I just want to mention that I know that the quizzes are boring. I'm a high school junior. I understand that almost most quizzes are boring, but these ES quizzes, for some reason, are specifically even more boring than some of the quizzes that we have. But I promise you, the stuff that we do during the ES, like in-person things, are very exciting. They're very fun. I've done one like ES type thing, and that was on like the flight line. And it was very interesting. It was very cool. And I can vouch. And I know Davis, Sergeant Davis, I know where you are. You've done a lot of ES. I know you can attest to that. ES is a fun thing to do. The quizzes are so boring, but the benefit that you get from doing the quizzes far outweighs that 20, 30 minutes that it takes to do them. So if you need help, that's what your flight sergeants are there for, okay? Tango Flight Sergeant Brian Collison, Chief Brian Collison, Alpha, what is it? Alpha Flight Sergeant, is that Alpha Baptist, I think?
Baptist.
Alpha is Baptist, Tango is Abraham, Tango is Collison.
See, they can help you. They can help you on the quest. They can help you on the quizzes. They can help you on the tests. And then we also have a department head, Sergeant Caraballo. He knows his way around ES. So if you need help, he can help you too. All I'm saying is that I want to help you guys we're doing ES regardless. So you can either take the fun or you can sit in mission base and not do it at all. And I want you guys to get that same experience that the rest of us will have. Is there any questions? Fantastic. So for the rest of the meeting, I assigned you guys to breakout rooms. As you know, we had a change of command ceremony, so all the flights are mixed up, all the flights are changed. And then we're gonna go from here to the breakout rooms. Ma'am, was there anything you wanted to say?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna send you guys to the breakout rooms.
Mr. Bell, where would you want me to meet you at? Just stand by this room here.
Yes, please.
All right, I'll talk to you in a bit.
Yes, sir. All right, I invite you guys to the rooms. All right, this is my first time using breakout rooms, so I'm not really sure how to if someone's not assigned, how to just kick them to that room. Assigned to.
I'm not sure myself.
I just assigned Kenneth Yang to Tango. I'm actually not sure who that is. Who's Johnny K? Not sure who that is.
He's a senior. Yang is a senior.
All right. I just assigned him to a room by accident. I don't know how to unassign him.
He'll find his way back.
He'll find his way back. All right.
Now, who's Johnny K?
I got put in the wrong meeting.
It's
Oh, sorry, Sharon.
Hozab.
Oh, I'll put you.
So
Wait,
Caraballo didn't make it back, huh? He didn't make it.
He has a family event. He said he would possibly be here for 9, I don't think that's really going to take that long. So I'll let him know that he really doesn't need to.
All right.
Okay. I'm getting text. Sharon, are you in Tango? What flight are you in?
I'm Bravo.
Bravo. Okay. And then 2 people in this flight. Move you to Bravo. Okay. All right. So sorry for making that take so long. Okay. So real quickly, Captain Wareham answered the majority of my questions that I had, but so the main thing is I need help figuring out how to get to GTM 3, and that would be for me and Sergeant Caraballo, because Sergeant Caraballo is going to be doing a lot of the work with you. He's going to be trying to get to the highest like GTM that he can. I don't know a lot about ground team, which is what I'm trying to learn. His goal, he's trying to get to the highest GTM that he can, ground team level that he can, so that he can help other cadets. And that's why he's the ground team head or ground team leader in his department, because he wants to figure out, he enjoys ground team, so he's trying to figure out how to get the highest in ground team that he's able to.
Well, first thing he's got to do is pull the squitters, find out what he has to do, and then start with the UDF, the ground team book. It lists every one of the tasks, and it's like a textbook for ground team, you know.
Okay. So again, I'm not very informed. So do I just look up like the ground team green guide?
Yeah, it's the I think it's called the UDF Ground Team Handbook or pamphlet or something. I've got a bunch of copies in PDF. That's the one everybody's talking about, going to that uniform store, and for $10 you can buy the hard copy.
Okay. Because
it is actually a sign off and part of your gear as ground team.
Okay, I'll order that. I can order that off Amazon, right?
What's the name of the company? Vanguard.
Okay, get off. All right, I'll get off Vanguard.
I think it's like $10 or something like that. Yeah, but it is actually needs to be with the cadet, you know, the cadet. It's like their little Bible for the whole shebang. So all these other noob files and things like that, these are things that were put together by individuals, you know, to consolidate a lot of stuff. Because if you notice and you go through the noob book or the noob handout, they've just about reproduced pages from the handbook, the green book.
Yes, sir.
Put them in there for where they're being called in the squitter, you know, the tasks. So if he can go ahead and you know, I don't know what he's done. I have to look as far as GES, and if he's got his the 116, 117. To get fully qualified, you're going to need to do 2 SARs. All right, 2 exercises at the bottom. You'll see that. What I would do is print a squitter for the, you know, and then just look on it and do it from the numbers. Do what you can. We knocked out a lot of them just by those FAM and prep tests, you know.
Okay.
And I knocked out just about everything I need in one hands-on CU over in Danielson Airport, and got everything signed off. The only thing I need is 2 SARs, and I'll be UDF and a few other things for GMT, because a lot of them cross, you know. And so we want to populate direction finding first. You know, we want to get those people done. You know, and so because in theory, you know, we're not going to really get called in anything magnanimous for ground team stuff, but we have a possibility of being called for direction finding and urban stuff. You know, so and the rest of it is just like it's necessary for the emergency services track. You know.
Okay.
Technician level, all that kind of thing. Get your badge. You know.
So the way to approach getting GTM 3, because I know that a lot of the stuff you can do like on your own, but the rest of the stuff you have to go and do in person, right? So,
well, I mean, you have to demonstrate that you have the gear, right? You lay your poncho out, put everything out, you check it, you boom, you get a SIG, you're done. All right. In ground team, you have to prove you got a 48-hour pack. All right. So you same thing. Compass, you have to demonstrate use of compass. You have to demonstrate how to how to find things on the map. So yeah, you can learn in these stupid times we live in now, you know, that we can't get together personally and go out in the woods and do these when we wanted to. And then have somebody that's like a Captain Wareham sign it off for us, you know what I mean? Because I'm in the same boat, you know?
Yes, sir.
But if we can just take the time and knock off all the easy stuff, you know?
Yes, sir.
That's the best I can tell you, you know, just chip away at it. You know, it's not going to happen overnight.
So I did all of the stuff that I was given, right? I did all the, by the way, my name and Jonathan's name are switched. Like our emails are switched.
All right. Well, you told me somewhere of these, and I was looking for where you left them notes at. I couldn't find them. So I was hoping that you would front me an email.
I sent you an email, sir.
You did? All right. And then I'll just make the changes by hand. But that's just was tossed together. It's just between myself and Captain Wareham for now. It's just keeping track. So yeah, I mean, if you can prove to a set that you know it and you can demonstrate it, you know, but July 18th is where you're going to get a lot of the hands-on stuff and get it knocked right out.
So I'll be there on July 18th. But so just to be clear, there's nothing else I can wait. I'm gonna make Jay host. Yeah. Okay. So there's nothing else that I can do like additionally. Like you were saying
like
that
extra credit or something.
No. So what I'm saying is me and Eli, we gotta move faster than everybody else so we can help, because right now like we're all at the same level. But I'm trying to figure out if there is a way. If there's not a way, obviously then it's okay.
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to get that green book.
I'll get the green book.
You got to get a copy of your squitters. You can pull off the UDF. You can pull off GMT Ground Team 3, and then just hammer them. And then when you feel up to being certified or get your SIG for it, get a hold of Captain Wareham, and we got to find out. I think Major Chartier may be a set in some of those things, you know, and just nail them. Just do them as you see fit. You know, you have to be proficient. You can't just have SIGs, you know.
Yes, sir.
Because you are going out in the woods and doing something practical that's going to relate to yourself, your own safety, and others, you know.
So you said Major, what was his name? Sorry.
Our communication officer, Major Cartier.
Oh, Major Cartier. Okay.
Yeah. He may be able to do that. I'm not sure. I heard talk he was, but you know, you might ask. But of course, Captain Wareham is a set, and so all you got to do is tell him if you want to have a chain of command. You can tell me what you're ready to do, and we could arrange to meet at Danielson Airport or Plainville. You know, and they might have another one of those things where they get together everybody from all different squadrons just to knock these out.
Yes, sir.
You know?
So you guys are telling us that every single time that one of these are happening, right? Like,
as soon as I know, believe me, you'll know.
Okay.
But they've been saying we're going to do it, and then they didn't. And then COVID came along, and it knocked everything out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if there's interest, then the people that are into this will make it happen. All right? And then we just make the paperwork happen, and we just meet at a place, and we because I actually look for a beacon. You know, he hid one for us, and we searched for it, the DF finding and all that. The proper way to enter the airport tarmac, get permission, everything that you would do outside of paper and pencil, we did as much as I could. How to inspect the vehicle before you take it out. Everything that you see in that squitter and everything you see in that UDF green book it's where it's at, you know. And it kind of like bothers me when people say that they couldn't find the questions. You know, I've been a teacher for 28 years. You know, you guys don't read anymore.
Yes, sir.
You know, you want instant gratification, and you can't do that to be proficient. You know.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. Listen to you.
I took some notes, so I
got you. How about get off your behinds and do something? Put that down.
Yes, sir. So, just to be clear, get the green book, get a copy of my SQTR, and then start chalking out the stuff on the green book. So I did the as you know, I did all the stuff that you guys have sent, but I'm like allowed to do the rest of the stuff that's on the green book, or that's on the chart for the 18th.
Absolutely, man. Like for example, one of the checkouts is going to be find a position on a map. Can you do that?
I don't. Wait, sorry, 1 second. Davis is calling me about one to break out room.
Okay.
What's up, man? Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm not sure. I'm talking to Lieutenant Mitchell right now. All right. Text Jay and tell him to. Wait. She was. Lieutenant Davis was just here. I'm not sure where she went. Ask her to rejoin. Tell Jay to come out. Tell Jay to get out of whatever breakout room he's in and come back to like the main room. Okay. All right. So call. I made him host. So call him. All right. Thank you. Bye. Sorry about that, sir.
No problem.
Okay. Okay. So get copy. So I think that's it actually.
Well, it's been how many times now that we've been very lucky to have Captain Wareham and the time available to do this stuff, right? It's what everybody, a lot of people have been wanting,
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, there's effort on the cadet side too to actually make it happen for the individual, and and how many times that was mentioned that you have to have this green book, and I offered it as a PDF. Everybody said they had it, and then to ask again, where do I find the information is kind of disheartening to me, especially when it's here right in front of us,
So we had okay. So I think there's a misunderstanding, right? I don't think that all of the information is being properly conveyed to the cadets. Like me personally, until I talked to Major Kimball during like the commanders meeting, I didn't really understand what we were doing with the ES. I know that we were doing stuff with ES, but I didn't really see the bigger picture. So I think that there's a lack of incentive to the cadets. I feel like before this meeting, they thought they were just doing the tests just to do the tests. And that's of course through conversations I've had with cadets and flight staff and staff. But I think there was a lack of incentive to do the actual material because they didn't really know what they were doing the material for. And now I think that now that they know, like, oh, on June 18th, we're actually putting this stuff into not fruition, putting this stuff into like play. I think there's a lot more of an incentive to do the cadets, and I think you'll see a lot more cadets doing these tests and doing.
Okay, well, that's all good, and everybody gets certified and all like this. But what happens if we have this calling tree of 16 people? Nobody wants to go.
I think that
because it's for real.
I think that what if is a what if, right? I don't think we've really seen that happen yet. And I think that when we cross that bridge, that we can definitely take care of it. But I think that based on the information that we have so far, I mean, if you look at the chart, you see that cadets are starting to put in stuff, but like based off of this meeting, we've seen a whole bunch of participation through multiple cadets during this meeting. And I think that that's all because of now cadets know what they're doing. Now cadets know that, hey, we're not just doing these tests because the tests are obviously, because tests are kind of boring, but now we know like what the tests are doing. So I think we'll see a lot more participation, and you'll see when that call comes that we'll be active and ready for the call.
Right, and it's a lot of it is self-motivated too, and so, it can't, we can drop it in your laps, but you have to do something about it and then not complain, you don't understand what you have to do, but it's been right in front of you the whole time.
I just think that, I understand what you're saying, but I think it's hard for some of these like 12 and 14-year-olds to be motivated if they don't understand what they're being motivated for.
All right, to be on a team for emergency service rescue.
Yeah, but that's like, what does that mean? I know what that means. I know you know what that means, obviously, but I don't think, but prior to this meeting, I don't think they understood what that meant.
Okay, so then then it's incumbent upon yourself to bring them along.
I definitely agree, and which is why the next thing was I wanted you to to see if there's anything that we need to add to the plan that I'm about to tell you right now.
All right.
The flight sergeants. So I saw when you shared with me in the Dropbox that there was like 10, 15 people maybe that even started the tests, right? And so I think the way that we can solve that problem is to not necessarily stop with the emails, because emails put information on like words. So there's no refutation whatsoever that this wasn't conveyed, that the message wasn't conveyed. But if we have the flight sergeants call the cadets and talk to them about what they need help on with the stuff, and or with the like tests and stuff like that, and why there's a lack of tests being completed, at least for the cadets that aren't doing that.
Well, let's not think of them as tests. Let's think of them as worksheets. Because basically what you're doing is you don't know the answers, you don't know the facts, but you have resources that you need to go to figure out the answer to the question, and in your own best ability you put the answer down, and we could come together and say, okay, let's go over these answers and why did you get these answers and why they may or may not be correct or they're adequate, you know. So I mean, we need some join here, you know. I mean, we've got Zoom, we got and you know, and if you got some free time, then anytime you want to get together, we can do that.
Okay. So
to go over the questions, because you have to demonstrate proficiency, you know. It's a little different than the e-services questions where you have an open book and you can look for the answers, you know.
Yes, sir. Go with questions with cadets.
Sir, we finished our 5-minute trip.
You can go, Jay. You can send a text and say that whenever they're done, they can log off.
Okay.
You go to transfer host to
Have a flight. Good night. Have a nice night.
All right. Have a nice night. Make sure to let your cadets know.
Yeah, they're all here. So
okay.
What is that beast that you have, Miss Davis? It looks like a cross between an owl and a chipmunk.
It's a sugar glider, sir.
A sugar glider.
Yes, which is kind of like a mini squirrel, but he's
Does he fly?
he has a pocket. Yes, he has a pocket like a kangaroo. So he's a marsupial. He is nocturnal, so he just woke up.
He's adorable.
And if you were standing here with me and I told him jump, he would jump to you. Otherwise, he'll stay on me.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
Baptist, Valsumani, and Tan, we're logging off the meeting, so you guys can feel free to log off. You guys have a great night, and Baptist, Tan, I'll see you guys tomorrow for our meeting.
Okay, all right, Mr. Bell, what we need to do is get together after the test has been out there. It's been out there a long time.
Yes, sir.
Right, and a resend. So pass the word to do the best they can. We'll get together, you know, outside of our regular Friday meetings. We'll go over the answers.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Because those are questions that get you signatures. All right. And if you're going to go out in the field, you got to make sure you know the kind of thing so that you could actually use it, you know.
I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. I think that there's a certain amount of participation within this meeting, right? We saw, I think it was 26 people come to this meeting, right? And I think having extra meetings, having extra like uniform meetings, I don't know if that's the solution. I think that to add on to your point, I think just to make it a little more beneficial.
Beneficial,
yeah.
Easy for you to say, but that's okay.
Well,
what I'm thinking of is, you know, not everybody in the squadron is interested in doing ES, you know. If you're not interested in ES, then, you know, you shouldn't be here, you know, in the ES sections, you know what I mean? But as far as the ES time goes in the regular Friday meeting, this is for everybody because everybody benefits from some of the things. Those in the team, the 15, 16 people that want to keep going forward and be a part of the team, then, you know, we could have some sort of a chat about the answers, you know, and clear up any doubts. And I'm not saying it has to be anything in any concrete, you know, but if you feel that people are having problems, then of course you can handle it on your own. But if it's a group, then you just give me a jingle and we can get together on Zoom and we can work it out.
I think that's the thing. I don't think it's a group thing. I think it's individual people don't understand how great ES is. And if we were to have those phone calls,
hallelujah.
I think it's definitely a select few amount of people. I just want my goal. I know that once we go to that bivouac on the 18th and 19th, I think that everybody will enjoy ES. Maybe not everybody, but like the majority of people will enjoy ES.
All right.
So once we have that phone call, or as you said, that group meeting about helping them get to whatever point they need to get to make sure that they're able to participate in the training on the 18th and 19th.
Yeah, if they want to. I mean, not everybody wants to build a rocket. You know, not everybody wants to, learn how to use a compass and find a beacon. You know, but the thing is, those who do want to will do it really well, and those who get an interest on them can be helped by those who finally learned how to do it well. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
so
sir.
you can just hand this back and forth. The same guy that doesn't understand how to cut out a wing out of a piece of balsa wood, you know what I mean? You could talk to somebody that does. Got to steady your hand, you know?
Yes, sir.
But as we go, I mean, some of these real important things like finding and using maps, how to use a compass, how to take a bearing, how to figure out how far you've walked, you know, with ranger deeds or whatever. Knowing where the sun comes up every morning is, you know what I mean? That's one of the things, you know. And as we get in there, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to know and remember. And that's where, as we get deeper, we'll be able to help each other a lot more. How to read a map, the topography, you know, the little wavy lines to show the, and what this is and what that. Yeah, that's a lot to learn, but you got to be motivated to do it because it's not gonna land in your lap.
Understood.
What do you say, Mr. Christie?
Good evening.
I was wanting to help you with that answer, dude. Who was the one? Was it Rufus that didn't know about the food, the 24 hours?
24-hour pack.
Yeah, I'm just going, oh my Lord. I didn't hear that. But you want to do as best you can, and you know it's an easy question. There's something more to it. You know, I'm just getting tripped up. But anyway, if that's all there is, are we satisfied, Mr. Bell?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your help. I'll definitely put these things. Also, I'll definitely start doing.
You got to be a cheerleader. No, serious. You have to advocate what you like and what you think and where the squadron should go. And I think that helping people and learning these skills are transferable assets and also good for the soul. It's one of the major ideas of Civil Air Patrol.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And so am I dismissed there, Ms. Golden?
Yes, you are, if there isn't anything further.
No, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, Aiden, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good weekend.
You too, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, Lieutenant Davis, thank you so much for setting that all up. Jonathan he was so happy. He was so happy.
Very welcome. Very welcome.
Had the flag back there because he wasn't able to take it with him. He was really mad he wasn't able to take the flag with him. But he was really, he was ecstatic that you guys did all that.
Awesome. Well, you know, he worked hard to get there. I remember his first encampment, we were together, and his meltdown and his buildups. And I don't know if my heart could have not done something for him, you know? Yeah. So it's nice to see you following in those footsteps. I'm sure they're your own footsteps, but you had a great role model. Very proud of where you boys were and where you are now. It's amazing to watch everybody grow. That's what I love so much about encampment. And the position of CDI, because you can help so many, and just by listening. Listening is so important. I came in on part of the meeting because I had to be somewhere, and I had a question about the ES. Even if people are not interested in ES with Civil Air Patrol, a lot of the items that he is teaching, you can use in everyday life. If you're driving a car and your GPS stops, guess what? Your ES training will show you how to know which direction you need to go or which direction your car broke down in. How to, let's say it breaks down in a snowstorm, well, and you run out of gas. How are you going to stay warm until someone can get to you? I mean, these are, the ES are basic life skills. Obviously not with, trying to locate the beacon, but the everyday stuff. In my car, I have, believe it or not, I have a sleeping bag in my car in case I break down. I have a blanket, I have an umbrella, I have, a little snack, some crackers in the back. Those are just things that I learned growing up to be prepared. And again, ES does that so well for the cadets. So I don't know, my 2 cents is there. If you want to use it, by all means, use it. But yeah, I think it's really important. I think you're on the right track. I really do. Not that you asked for my opinion, but I figured I'd give it.
I'm very glad that you said that. Yeah, I definitely hope that next time we have a ES meeting, I hope you say that. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay if I do say that?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Then I absolutely will. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, we're good to log off, Captain Golden.
Yes.
All right.
You
Have a
are.
great weekend, everybody.
You too.
Have a good evening, everyone. Good
You
night.
too.
At the
Bye,
meeting
Mr.
now.
Good to see you.